Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who are pushing this word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Awashai, once again for blessing us with another opportunity to come forth and bring forth this news, information, or, as us in our circle will call it, prophecy. You see, prophecy. And a lot is going on. We're in some exciting times, really, excitement is a understatement. But the things that we have been believing in, starting with our apostles, elders, bishops, so on and so forth, on down, the things that we have believing in for years, and just talking about at one point, and there was a time that people could scoff and say, no, it ain't, you ain't right, or y'all false prophets, or Bishop Nate, that we conspiracy nuts or conspiracy theorists. But now, ain't nobody can really say that now, because these things are taking place, man. Prophecy is speaking, as it's saying Habakkuk, the second chapter, and we got a few things we'll touch on tonight. But again, as I say, we quote this almost every week, if not bring it out. But in Sirach, how be not ignorant of anything small or great, man. Is a lot of information coming out, or not a lot of news. Right, and I was thinking about this too, and that's in Salakia too, and Shalom to all the Akiman Agua through tuning in. Yahweh Shemel Shabrakathum. But this would take me and Elder Tazapah a minute to get started, because we're just kind of conversating. But the thing is, it's a lot happening, as far as the Epstein files, right? That's what we was looking at, the Epstein files, all kind of stuff out there. And we got to be very, speaking to myself first and foremost, privy in these times, and got to research things and look it up, and not just go for what social media say, because things could be AI, things could be Photoshop, so on and so forth, right? But you're gonna have also smoke screens that's out there, false FLAGS is out there. A lot of stuff is happening. Is the point. If I don't know if a brother posted that be not ignorant, Baba Kashava brother could post that, and if not, I get it. But a lot is happening. So much is happening, but the main thing, we got to make sure we take this information and tie it to prophecy. But Elder Tazapah, you got anything? The floor is yours.
Nah, brother, we can get straight to it.
Khan, that's it. And as we know, weekly hear about things as far as with Trump, World War III, that's a major prophecy. The digital system, we see everything turning digital. What else? People ready to ride and take it down with the government, but at the same time, Trump sending these troops, and sending ICE to attack everybody. And it's the title of the lesson Thursday Live. It says detention centers, layoffs to UBI, and another pandemic, disease X. Now I get this from the brother Daniela, Sirach 5:15. It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small, so it's a lot of information going out. And like Elder Tazapah was saying before we started, with these Epstein files, yeah, they could be using it as, just to get the people distracted, but something got to come from it though. Some go come from it. It may seem small, right. People brush it away, but something really got to come from this. And again, if it wasn't that bad, they talking about they releasing the files, but why everything blacked out still? Faces still blacked out, names still blacked out, and emails.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. But hey, and to go back to what you were saying, to double down on that, we are in the age of the deep fake, all right, with AI and all of that. All right. Fake news, like Trump used to say. Well, I mean, he still say it, fake news. All of that is out there. And speaking to myself first and foremost, we all have to be diligent, in the information. Well, in vetting the information, that we are going to present, you know. So yeah, yeah, that's it.
That's it. So we'll hop into it, and we'll quickly get through this one right here, the first one, because brothers kind of been touching on it already throughout the week. But this End Time Headlines put out a couple of days ago, February 1st. It says Trump converts 23 giant warehouses into ICE detention centers, and it's all a part of prophecy. The scripture in 2nd Ezra 16 said they go take you out your house and cash you, and then you go be idle. It literally say that you go be idle, right? Well, in one of these, in one of these, and it's gonna start with as they talking about the as they will call them immigrants, which is the northern kingdom of the nation of Israel, Hispanics, Native Americans, so on and so forth, or Central or South Americans. But eventually, that's gonna come to you, Southern Kingdom Israelites too. You Negroes out there, man. And not just you Israelites, but all America. This thing gonna happen for all America. I'm thinking about 2nd Ezra 16 again when it says, when these troops come, they go spare none. None. Not even if you voted for Trump, you got a MAGA shirt, they ain't gonna spare none. And I'm gonna say, and you got to think about it. All these people about to start getting exposed, these politicians, they don't care about the vote no more. They don't care about pleasing you people no more. Right? They're going full 100% with the NWO. And that and in order for that to happen, a lot of you people who finding out this stuff, talking about these average Americans, not none of us, but they plan on putting a lot of you people to death. Trump with that. He don't care if you voted for him. He with all that, man. They going to the next phase of what they plan. They don't gotta go sit in front of Baptist churches no more to try to get the vote. That's old. That's done. But you got it. You about to say something?
Hey, I got this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right. So the point here being right. And we have spoke on this before about, right, the prisons already are overcrowded here in America. America has the most prisoners per capita than any country in the world, all right, of any population in the world, all right? So they need space, all right? And this is what the brother getting ready to go into for what? So they could throw, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans into prison so that you could be tried, all right? Y'all thought we were bullcorning with y'all. Y'all gonna be tried. And sweet Jesus, you flunking off the top.
Right.
That's an automatic F. You coming in with sweet Jesus, you done. Allah, you done. And if you hollering Yahweh while Yahweh shy, you better be legit. That's why the scriptures say, many shall say to me in that day, Lord, Lord. All right. But their heart wasn't right. What else said right quick? I got to get that.
Oh, let me see.
You got it out. What is it? Where you at? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Matthew 7. Matthew 7:21.
Okay. All right.
Matthew 7:21.
You got it? I got it. That's it. Yeah. Man.
Can I get it for you?
I'm gonna start at 18. No, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna start at 18. This is Matthew 7:18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. And this is going into the time of reaping. All right, the end of days. It says, verse 20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. They that doeth the will. All right. And so your heart has to be right. It's just like Paul said. They that run at the race run it all. But unless you, he speak about strive lawfully, you know, basically you running in vain, to paraphrase. But you got to participate lawfully, sincerely. We're gonna have to be authentic, and it's a lot of inauthenticity amongst Israel. All right, you mentioned Nate. Now they talking about Yahweh. The Apostle Tahar went into that, I believe, yesterday. Now they calling on Yahweh. Apostle Tahar say he ain't never called on Yahweh.
Right.
So right, it's a lot of corrupt fruit. It's a lot of evil fruit out there, but they know the name. And you know, when Nate time of trouble come, he ain't gonna be on that Yahweh and Christ. He gonna say Yahweh. Why Yahweh shot? But guess what the Lord gonna say? You know, oh, Selassie. This is verse 22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. And you don't want to hear that from the Lord. You see, but this is what these charlatans are going to hear. All right. So yeah, we have to. Our faith is going to have to be genuine. The test that trial that I read about, Revelation 2. You know, some of us will be cast into prison to be tried. All right, for 10 days. You're going to be tried for your faith. All right, all of this ties into the hour of temptation in Revelation 3. I'm going to bring that out real quick. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. This is to the authentic, the genuine servants of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, he said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. And that's when they're going to come at you with the MOTB.
Mm-hmm.
It says, which shall come upon all the world, because it's going to be the next world currency. It's, well, you about to get into the UBI. The UBI going to be on the MOTB. It'll be the new world currency. It says, right, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them. All right, it's all about that proving, to test the faith of the saints. All right, and all the saints ain't, every saint ain't gonna make it. It says, right, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right, and that word world is oikoumenic, meaning all the world. And this is what's shaping up. Everything that you're seeing, all right. And again, we don't have the details, the what, when, where, and how, but we have the overall picture. All right. And everything that you see today, from the Epstein scandal to gold and silver shooting through the roof, to these wars in various countries, This spells the end of an empire, all right? But that's going to lead to the MOTB of Revelation chapter 13, and that's going to lead to this third woe, all right? And that's the chaos that we are now witnessing. So you got it, brother.
That's it. I'll play this real quick.
Their response seems like anybody that...
Oh, it says rumors of mega ICE detention center near Dallas that could hold more than the city's population. It says the alleged location for the facility would be an empty warehouse near where I-45 and I-20 meet, about 20 miles south of Dallas. Hutchins residents have concerns about the potential facility, ranging from infrastructure demands to protests that could occur.
You talk to, it's one of, we don't want that.
Multiple reports now suggest the feds are considering converting it into a mega ICE detention center, capable of holding more than the city's entire population.
There is the infrastructure on whether or not a town that has 8,000 people can handle another 9,000 people.
Mayor Mario Vasquez tells Fox 4 existing water and sewage utilities aren't equipped to support an operation of that scale. He also confirms no certificate of occupancies have been applied for. Still, some residents can't help but wonder what else something like this could attract.
Protesting and everything that goes along with it, it's just a big, headache. I know they're going to have to put it somewhere, but I'd rather for it not to be here.
Video from Sky 4 shows how large the sprawling space is, spread out across more than 61 acres. The facility boasts more than 1 million available square feet of industrial space on the Majestic Realty website, which also says it's still available. Messages for the listing agent went unanswered Friday. When we reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for confirmation, Fox 4 was told, quote, "We have no new detention centers to announce at this time." But the statement did go on to say, every day DHS is conducting law enforcement activities across the country to keep Americans safe. It should not come as news that ICE will be making arrests in states across the U.S. and is actively working to expand detention space. In the meantime, those who call Hutchins home say they just want a straightforward answer.
It's frustrating not to have information that is clear and concise.
Boom.
Yeah, they ain't got to worry about none of that. The utilities and another 9,000. It ain't for another 9,000. It's for y'all.
That's right.
Everybody thinking, everybody's thinking everybody else. You got the Edomites, they thinking, oh, the illegals, or the Browns. And everybody's looking at everybody else, but they don't know we all in the same, goddamn bullshit. They compartmentalize the tyranny so that everybody don't wake up and come together. So, and they got everybody divided already. So, right, they got, certain people, even divided amongst race. All you saw ain't MAGA. You got, liberal Edomites. You got conservative Edomites, red Edomites, blue Edomites. You got the, what they call them, those radical Edomites. You got the gung-ho Edomite. Esau got everybody separated and in groups. So they go after one group, everybody else applaud, yeah, get them out of here. Then they go after the next, and then after the next. And then you down to a few groups, and now what can you do? And that's the game that they run. And again, everybody's looking at everybody else and don't know that they all in the same pot boiling. But yeah, you got it out.
That's it. And again, the Lord just breaking down this place, a bit by bit, little by little. You know, but again, when it's time to where that little by little, it may be small things, but it's gonna speed up. It's gonna be so much stuff that's about to happen in a short period of time. You know, and again, think about this. You have so-called natural disasters that's been taking place, people out of homes, people out of land. Now you got people out of jobs. Why though? Everything being replaced with technology, AI, the digital system. The digital system is coming, whether people ready, like it or not, man. It's here. And the main thing is because it's a part of Bible prophecy. And also what people don't know, that jobs being taken away or people being laid off or fired, that's also a part of Bible prophecy. Even more specific, talking about when America was falling. In Isaiah the 19th chapter, I read a couple paragraphs here and I get in a few. But in Isaiah 19, it talk about Egypt downfall. And it's not talking about the ancient Egypt with Moses now. Because it started off with Yahushua, the Lord coming riding into Egypt on a swift cloud. That's going to happen in America, Revelation 11 and 8, Egypt, the spiritual one. But when you read on into that, the Lord described how Egypt was going to begin to fall. And one of the signs would be that nobody going to be working. Nobody going to be working. But now we see how this going to play out because AI and technology now. Now we see why nobody will be working. Back then, Isaiah wrote it, but now we see why it's going to happen. The digital system is coming. It's here. So it says, big U.S. companies, end time headlines, January 30th, big U.S. companies set to lay off at least 52,000 workers as job market cools. It says big U.S. employers, including Amazon, UPS, Dow, Nike, Home Depot, have unveiled plans to cut more than 52,000 jobs, a move that underscores growing signs of a cooling labor market after years of strong hiring and low unemployment. Right now, it's not just jobs as far as Uber. You know, because they even got self-driving cars. It ain't as far as you answer the phone. You know, what's the people, the front desk people? You don't need to talk to nobody. They got
receptionists.
Yeah, receptionists. They don't need that. They got the AI voice. Press 1 for this. Press 2 if you call it. Press 3. You know, if it ain't, you know, the Indians over there. If it ain't them,
yeah.
You know. But the point is, you have jobs already being taken. Now it says AI is already taking white collar jobs. Economics warns that there is much more in the tank. You know, so these your suit and ties job, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Ford, so on and so forth, the sales force. But not just that, you also got AI put out yesterday. End time headlines, AI startups raising billions of dollars for robots that will replace blue collar workers, those who get their hands dirty. You know, those who build. So in other words, he's gonna cause all in a way, and this gonna lead to what? UBI. He causing all because he's setting up a system around you to be digital to where one, he don't need the people no more. So everything around you, and after that, everything around you, in order to get by society, you're gonna have to have that C-Hub. You're gonna have to have a digital ID starting off in the CBDC or UBIs, which is gonna lead to the C-Hub.
Yeah,
He gonna influence this around the people. You got it.
No, Salakia, that devil Noah Yuval Harari, he already said the biggest problem that they're gonna have in the future is what to do with the people. That devil, you know. So I already see the pods coming. That was it. You got it, bro.
That is it. That is it. And we played a video, I believe, from him or Elon Musk last week, speaking on that. You know, it's gonna be no more need for people, and that's what Esau envisioning.
Yeah, we played him.
Yeah,
you played him.
Let's see. So I put this on ChatGPT, and then I get that precept real quick. I said, give me a detailed list of all the companies, whether Fortune 500 or mom and pop shops, how many people have been laid off from 2025 to 2026. It says, and what companies expect layoffs. Now, there's a lot of information, and all these links is in the description box, so you can kind of go back to it. I'm sure you'll probably have to sign into ChatGPT to look at all this, but it goes into a lot. It's a lot. So I'm gonna just jump down. First, I'm gonna just kind of give a little quick example. It says confirmed layoffs. That's 2025. You had Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Pinterest, Oracle, Citigroup, Verizon, UPS, Nike, Starbucks, Target, Lululemon. Now we're in 2026. It says the Washington Post, biotech and health startups, Deep Watch. It says, let me jump down. And it said it couldn't give detailed information on mom and pop shops. And I said, what other companies besides tech? And it goes into banking, healthcare. You got first retail, you got Target, Kroger, Baker and Taylor, Fanatics, Fred Meyer, and Car Toys. You got ConocoPhillips, General Motors. And all these people, is more than thousands of people they find. I'm going to just get to the total stats. And so it says right here, approximate layoffs by sector. In 2025, government and public sector, you had 300,000 people. Retail, you had 88,000, between 88,000 and 92,000. Transportation and warehouse, you had 90,000 plus. Services, as far as staffing, contract cuts, outsourcing firms, 63,000. You had goods, customer goods, and consumer products, 41,000. Nonprofits, 27,000. Media and entertainment in Hollywood out the door, 16,000. Food and beverage, 34,000. Telecommunications, 38,000. It says right here, where we at? 2026. Hold on, what a total number at? It says, that's something else. So like it, bear with me. I forget where I'm looking. I'm looking for it says something about over millions between 2025 and 2026. It's multi-millions that's been laid off. You know, so think about it. These people, they're coming into a society to where it's already hard. Now they're looking for job, and even the job market, nobody really hiring. Why? Because everybody going digital. Everybody trying to let go of people so they could bring in their digital systems. Even my boss told me this. I'm gonna get this precept. Even my boss told me my last little review, little yearly review or whatever. He was like, yeah, we got the new AI system. And he asked me, have I used it yet? And the thing is, he said, yeah, and I'm starting to think that we overstaffed. So it's happening everywhere. I'm gonna get this real quick. There's Isaiah chapter 19. Yep. Isaiah 19, and I'm gonna start at now. It says the burden of Egypt. And it's talking about America. And this is one of the things that was gonna happen. Isaiah 19, and I'm gonna start at 14. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Here it is, verse 15. And neither shall there be any more work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Head or tail, CEOs, right? And all the way to the last employee. It's going to be no more work for Egypt. With this lined up with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. When people look out the windows, going to be nothing but darkness. The door shall be shut in the midst thereof. We seeing this play out in live time, but we see the reasons why, because the world going digital. AI, tech layoffs, blue collar layoffs, white collar layoffs, but it's all leading to a purpose right here. This the purpose.
I got
you got
Ecclesiastes.
You got it.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. It's talking about, the doors being shut in the streets, the doors of the companies.
You got it.
Oh, you want to go in? Yeah,
Now
we
you
was
got it.
talking about, yeah, like the brother was saying. All right, it's gonna be no more work soon. All right, the doors being shut in the streets. The companies going out of business. All right, you saw that heavy in the shutdown of 2020. All right, well that killed the Main Street, as they say, the moms and pops, the bricks and mortars, and a lot of people lost jobs and businesses. All right, and so now this next wave, this AI and robotic uh, wave that of the future, it's going to take a whole lot more jobs. All right, and you already saw that with Doge this year, or earlier last year, Salaki. You saw that with Doge, and they was going in to get the systems, governmental systems, in sync with AI, and then they told the people, "Thank you for your time and service. We don't need you no more." So that's going to continue to happen. That's the trend. That's what Gerald would you know would tell you. The trend is unemployment. You know, and so that's what the scripture is talking about. It said when the sound of the grinding is low, right? The sound of the working is low. All right, it's still a little bit, but that's about it. It's low. All right, it says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right, this low frequency, low vibrational music that's out today. All right, which is really a reflection of where we are. That is a reflection of the zeitgeist that they at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And the music, yeah, it reflects that because you hear it and you want that shit to end. The stuff that is they playing today, it ain't music. But anyway, that's a whole nother lesson. You got it, brother.
Come. So on top of everybody losing jobs, this from thehill.com. And this was put out January 30th. It says the US is headed for mass unemployment and no one is prepared. Now I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna read this first paragraph and then jump down. It says, for years, I opposed universal basic income firmly and reflexively. I treated it as liberal fantasy and innovation to idleness and subsidy for stagnation. It says a sedative administrative so like a sedative administered by a bloated state. It says work, I believe, in merely how societies function, but how men and women found meaning. Pay people for nothing and you dissolve discipline. That was the story, and I told it often. It says that position no longer survives contact with reality. So in other words, he's saying he thought you had to work in order for you to find a meaning and you to earn your living, so to speak, and then not just sit on your butt because you sit on
Right.
your butt. You could be undisciplined and just, in other words, how Esau talk about Jake collecting
Right.
government benefits. How they try to put out the so-called black woman like she the main one when really is you Edomites. How they just sit in the hood with all these children and get all these snacks, right? So that's what he kind of
You heard
saying.
it.
But
You heard the
his
story
team,
about the white.
you got it.
You heard the story with the white woman in New York. She got housing, got approved for housing, but it was a shit. I know it was expensive in New York, but it was a nice little some type of apartment or something. And so she got approved for the housing, and then so she turned around and rented it to some other people and had a whole nother house out in Florida somewhere. So she just raking in money off the government, you know. But yeah, these white people have been on welfare. They started welfare shit. I think some of the first people on welfare was Esau.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to look that up, but I believe they were. But yeah, they use it. They use it too. But go ahead.
Con. So I'm gonna jump down. So this him continue. He says, I say this reluctantly, but honestly, before AI, my opposition, this is a liberal argument detached from objective reality. And so, in other words, he's telling people, stop just thinking this is what the Democrats want. No, this is actually happening. And I'm not taking the Democrats back at by any point, but the point is this actually happened. People about to sit down and the government gonna take care of you. Own nothing and be happy. That's what's about to happen. Yep. It says, that's what they're gonna try to have happen. It says the social consequences of, and at the same time they're talking about another demic coming. Come on, man. It says the social consequences of mass displacement, crime, despair, radicalization, resentment spread. It says they destabilize everything conservatives claim to want to conserve. It says we are approaching. Let me jump down. So like I'm just trying to read to see if that's something important. Could I jump down? All right, we're gonna jump down. Where we at? Okay, this is what I want. I jumped down too far. It says I'm gonna start right here. It says universal basic income viewed through this lens stops looking like a left-wing indulgence and starts looking like a stability mechanism. It says that doesn't mean unconditional generosity or bureaucratic bloat. It says the conservative case for universal basic income is about preventing social fracture while preserving incentives to contribute where contribution is still possible. So in other words, they're going to try to make it a way that people ain't just go sit down, but where you still going to have to contribute. You still going to have to earn your keep, in other words. And how you going to do that? Social credit scores, certain incentives. If you say anything against the government, you ain't getting that you ain't getting that money this month.
I think we broke it down last week.
What'd you say?
I think we broke it down last week. I think they're gonna put people on treadmills or bikes so you can run the
like the Black Mirror, huh?
Yeah. Yep. To power them data centers. Yeah, you can go home and feel good about yourself at the end of the day.
That's right. That Black Mirror episode, like you had mentioned too.
Yep.
Can I read this again? It says that doesn't mean unconditional generosity as far as the government just about to give people everything. And see, people think they're just gonna get this money like it's a stimulus, and you can go on trips and you can stunt and you all on social media, and instead of saying happy hour, you drinks on me. No, life about to be different. Life about to be different. They're gonna sit you down and then say, do something, And that's why you have shows like movies like Ready Player Now in the house playing games. Hey, and look, at the same time, Grand Theft Auto, what it is, 6, about to come out. You're gonna sit people down about to play Grand Theft Auto 6 in the house, chilling while Esau
already came
digital system around you. And it's, come on, man. Now they say they're supposed to drop it this year. Perfect timing. And it's 6. It's Esau number 6 in 2026.
Huh. Okay.
What he says, that doesn't mean yeah. It says that doesn't mean unconditional generosity or bureaucratic bloat. The conservative case for universal basic income is about preventing social fracture while preserving incentives to contribute where contribution is still possible. It is about replacing a maze of failing welfare program. So in other words, this is going to take the place of welfare programs. but it's going to have incentives tied to it. It says universal basic income is not an end state, but a bridge, a way to prevent mass dislocation while society renegotiates the relationship between work, dignity, and income as the 9 to 5 day fades away. So, yep. And then you already got in the UK, this happening already. And you know, UK already always start before America. And this is from theguardian.com. And this was put out January 29th. It says universal basic income could be used to soften the hit from AI job losses in the UK. So we're seeing the same, we're going to see the same thing play out because AI taking people jobs, the digital system coming. They said, well, look, a UBI, universal basic income, we're going to pay people. And that's going to be another way that the citizens going to be dependent on the government, man. You know? Oh, yeah. And so there, at this point, while you're dependent, you can do everything this government say, and the easy one will be to take the C-HIP eventually. But you got advertiser power. We can wind it down too.
No, you good, brother. I ain't had nothing.
So we can end it off on this, you know, and it's another thing to watch out for. They're talking about another endemic coming, in which AF so that's gonna be some good news for us. You know, at the same time, think about it. When this thing shut down, if it shut down again, we know why. He's starting that digital system on the outside while people locked up, you know, with a scare of another disease. And we know these people who will probably be so-called disease is the same ones who took the juice. Now it's just having this effect on the people, man. You know?
Yeah. So
this is another thing to watch out for. Again, we're in some exciting times, you know. But we'll go ahead and play this quick video, which demics, you know, sicknesses, diseases is all a part of end-time prophecy as well. But this from rumble.com, it says Natalie Winters, the WHO or the World Health Organization just ran a pandemic simulation, scarily similar to the current Nipah virus outbreak. Now, why it's important that they run a simulation on what could happen now on this new outbreak is because in 2019, they ran a similar simulation about CV19, and a year later it happened. So they talk about these things planted, which the scriptures say, because isn't it the power of his hand to do it? I'm paraphrasing that.
Yep.
Is in the power of his hand to do it. And also he made Isaiah 10:1, unrighteous degrees, things he been have wrote down. But let's go ahead and play it.
He didn't think this shampoo would work. Men lose hair, especially after 35, so we made a shampoo that stops it.
Do you want to enjoy conversations with clarity and ease again? Then take a moment to...
Warren Posse, I want to direct your attention to another concerning story, speaking of globalists in the United Nations, which I hear is going bankrupt. Don't say you didn't vote for that. I know we've officially drawn out of the World Health Organization, but I think COVID lets us all know that even if we draw out of that, it actually doesn't really matter because pathogens, viruses, organically, naturally created, or gain of function, lab created, they don't understand borders. But it's quite interesting. I'm sure you guys have seen that the Nipah virus has been causing some lockdowns and quarantines across Southeast Asia. I think it's even making its way into Brazil and some other countries a little bit closer to us. But what is so interesting about this outbreak is actually that on my Substack, if you want to pull up the article, it's nataliegwinters.substack.com. I encourage you to read this one. It's quite mind-blowing. Late 2025, I'm talking like the end of December, the WHO actually held a mock pandemic, a simulation exercise with the respiratory illness, of which Nipah virus is one of those, among other ways that it spreads. But in Southeast Asia, same exact region where this pandemic is now happening. And I know the Warren audience is very much ahead of the curve. And when I say Event 201, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The, curiously timed, basically COVID simulation run by Johns Hopkins, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum, all of the bad hombres, maybe we'll take that term too and apply it to them. It happened, like I said, just before a COVID-19 pandemic emerged. And now this is called the Crystal simulation. maybe they have a crystal ball and they can see into the future. But like I said, happened in late December, and now we are seeing a eerily and strikingly similar, potential pandemic sort of break out in that same region that they were doing that. The WHO actually captioned the description of the exercise as "the next pandemic is coming." Very definitive. I don't like that verb tense when used by the WHO, and if the word pandemic is anywhere near that sentence.
So another demic is coming, and what gave it away, or what shows it in a way, they ran a simulation of this new disease X virus that could happen, but it was a thing called Event 201, right? Event 201, I'll read it a little bit of it. It says Event 201 was a high-level pan-DZ simulation exercise conducted on October 18th, 2019 in New York. It was hosted by the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And every time, Yashawama be bringing this out, but every time Esau get called out, it'd be a scandal or something to take the spotlight off him. What's the hot topic right now? These Epstein files. And who all a part of that? Bill Gates, all these people. They getting called out, exposed. They hoping their names don't be shown. That is still blacked out on the email. Right? So what you think gonna happen? Some gotta happen from this. And
just like you mentioned the similarities with these exercises and the pandemic broke. And now they had an exercise in December. Now they're talking about Nipah. Well, right before the pandemic, the Weinstein scandal broke. And that started by 2017, 2018. But he went to court in 2020. And so now all of this Epstein stuff is out. It makes you wonder. And now they're talking about Nipah. So, it's a lot of parallels and similarities that you can draw. And, which is why they told us lies in truth in school, is because history repeats itself. And Esau, if it worked, why change it? So he gonna keep running the same plays as long as people falling for it. But yeah, if we in scandal. Their motto is never let a good crisis go to waste. And so they might as well go for all the marbles. And this is it. They're like, this is the last play. This is the last play of the game. You got to go for all the marbles. But yeah, you got it out. This is the last play for Esau. Our game getting ready to start. We're gonna start a whole new, new heavens and a new earth. New heavens. Yeah, I got the lags. I think.
I'll go ahead and play this real quick. So, and again, remember that simulation Event 201. Now, this is kind of like a little highlight reel on what they had planned before CV19 even happened, just to show they had all this stuff already in the book already. And the only reason I'm playing is because they just had another one for a new one. This 2018 and 18 that they did before CV.
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds. Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died. experts agree unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to a severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere.
The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising.
Boom, now they started talking about it. Right, so that was the little highlight tape. And then they started talking about it in the planet, and then the next year, CV19 because of a bat in Wuhan. Right. And then look at the world after that. People, grown people was walking around with masks and shields, and dogs couldn't even bark. All because of they just planned this and sat around, played a highlight tape and said, let's do it. Which is funny. You got it? You got it?
No, don't forget, Bill and his whatever said, no, it was just him, I think. He said, the next one gonna be sure to get your attention. Talking about the next pandemic. So they already had, you mentioned Isaiah, might as well get it. They had this in the works, in the making. Yeah, Bill already told you it was another one coming.
I got that Isaiah 10.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 10, verse. What you got? Go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it. You got it.
It's Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and then write grievous, which they have prescribed. All right. That's all Esau do. He's infamous for his unrighteous decrees, all right, which he prescribed. All right. And that's talking about his draconian laws and legislation, all right, that's getting ready to ramp up. We're gonna see even more, all right, with the ICE, all right. You know, we covered here on this platform. We went into ICE. I mean, we go into it all right. You mentioned Nate, or you know, they talk about conspiracy theorists and all that. Prophets don't deal in theory. You know, we don't deal in theory. That's when we preach this gospel. No, this is the truth of the Lord. All right. But verse 2 says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right. And we are the poor. We get exploited, raped, robbed, pillaged on every turn here. All right. But you still got Negroes talking about generational wealth and chasing the bag. When you see, we didn't had prime examples of getting the bag. Not selling out to Esau, but doing the right thing and getting the bag. Building entire cities. And you see how that turned out. So why are we still chasing bags? You should be storing up treasures in heaven. They done showed you it's nothing down here for you. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. That's this shit. But Jake don't want to let it go, just like Negro got in the wilderness and wanted to go back into bondage. Niggas don't want to let this shit go. They're fixated. They're fixated. And their own sins and wickedness is what's tethering them to this place. Their flesh is what has them anchored and bonded to this bullshit. That's why the scriptures say, how did it go out? Come out of her? Not that one, but forsake her.
Man in soul.
Yeah, that too. Right. Forsake her. And deliver every man his soul. Yeah. But No, nigga don't want to do that. These the same niggas wanted to go back into Egypt after the Most High. He destroyed it. He fucked it up. What you gonna go back to? Egypt was done after that. And that tell you a lot about the mindset of some people, all right, among us. But anyway, yeah, they're grievous, man, that grievousness that they have prescribed. You know, all of this that we seeing, they, yeah, they done wrote it out. They ran beta tests. It's like you mentioned it now. You know, they do tests and then they roll it out. All right. So, right, we have to roll that part. That first, the corona stuff, that was the beta test.
Yeah, that was, yep.
Right. For this.
Yep.
They're always gonna do tests.
Live practice.
Oh yeah, then Trump was, they had a clip saying this is a live exercise. And
Yep.
Trump, real low, you could hear him on the mic real low. He said, well, you should have let us know during the first pandemic. They said it's a live military exercise, something to that effect. There's a clip floating around out there. That's what that was. So I guess they're getting ready, you know, to bring the real deal. That's why they dropped this list. You know, right? You got it, brother. Go ahead.
So I play this a little. Well, I'm gonna read this first, and it's from the actual WHO website, just to show you they did another simulation, and this was put out January 30th, 2026. Look at the top, World Health Organization, WHO. So let's jump down. It says crystal exercise. It says in WHO's Western Pacific region, Crystal 2025, conducted in December 2025, brought together 31 countries and areas to rehearse their readiness for the next demic through a fictional novel respiratory illness scenario. The exercise reinforced in real time verification. Is gonna be digital gonna play a big part in this one. It ain't just gonna be a juice. You know, you getting shot in you this time, it ain't just the juice. You know, it says information sharing and public health risk assessment processes, so on and so forth. Epidemics. It's Second Ezra 16. And then I play that video from Elder Karatazar. He got that with Bill Gates speaking. This Second Ezra 16, I think it's 16 or 15. Yep. Second Ezra 16. And I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says troubles, and it's in a GNT. Second Ezra 16 to 18. It says troubles will come, and many people will groan. Now this talking about the end of the world. Famine will come, and many will die. I'm good.
Still, I can't tell. Yeah, I can now.
Okay. I read it again. It's Second Ezra 16 and 18. It says, troubles will come and many people will groan. Famine will come and many will die. Wars will come and the world powers will tremble, just like Pharaoh started getting nervous, shaking in his sandals. You know, shaking in his sandals. Right. These elites gonna start getting nervous. And it's already starting because they're getting a little exposed. You know, they're in the Epstein files, so on and so forth. Right. It's all a part of prophecy. It says, and the world powers will tremble. Disasters will come and everyone will be terrified. And what will people do when these disasters come? It's about to name off a few. It says, verse 19, famine. That's one. And it's the one I'm looking for, the second one. It says, and epidemics. What that mean? Epidemics, quick look up. It says epidemic, a rapid spread of infectious disease to a large number of people within a short period of time. Come on, man. That's what we talk about. That's a part of Bible prophecy. Epidemics. And you know,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, brother. And yeah, we know it's gonna be worse this time because the infrastructure is in place now.
That's it.
Remember the first one, they was putting it in place. Yeah. And it was, it was some here and there, towers and stuff, but now they got the infrastructure in place, and you mentioned the juice, plus the infrastructure that's in the people. That's a part of the infrastructure too, the graphene.
That's right.
And the oxide. So yeah, the NEPA in itself don't even have to be deadly. They could just turn a certain frequency and people start dropping. That's that NEPA. That's that NEPA, and then everybody's scared to death. Man. But it's from the ignorance of the first pandees. And the people's lack of faith. But go ahead, brother. You had just made me think of that.
No, that's it. As in Psalms 91 too, when they talk about that that pestilence that walketh in darkness, that right, diseases.
Yep.
That spread, you don't see them, pestilences, man. And that's all before Babylon falls. These are things we see and play out. So this is another thing that can happen. It makes so much sense what other times apart said, because even Bill Gates and them said that in about 4 to 5 years, we're gonna see what the effects of this juice gonna do. Well, we about 6 years in. This the time we're gonna see the effects of the people who took that. And other times apart said you are the technology in you now through by where that juice being put in you. All they gotta do is turn it up. Man, all they gotta do is turn it up.
Yeah, because everybody got MAC addresses now. They just type into your address, bloop, put you, shoot you a disease.
Man.
Right to your MAC address, and you got it. Or activate your oxide. To F you up. But in the curses, the Lord says sickness that was not written in the book. I'm gonna find that right quick. So that's that's the time that we in.
Man, I was about to say something. You made a point. I was about to say something.
Damn. I think I know. But anyway, find it right quick.
Oh yeah, to this last video we were playing, we could take it out on this. From the Elder Karatazar in Vegas. He got like a little combination of videos, together. You know how he be doing his vids, but it's with Bill Gates talking, saying there's gonna be another demic coming, and he also got clips from an Indian woman talking about a new one, the World Health Organization, and also you got the Simpsons in it. And it's funny because the Simpsons creator, he in the Epstein files, he in there. So these, people been saying, these ain't predictions. He telling you because he in the meetings. He know it.
Yeah, he known 33rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got it.
Now you about to read that precept. That was it.
Oh, let's say what you call it. The GTA creator, or one of the Grand Theft Auto big wigs. He on the list.
Man, it makes sense. It makes sense because that's why they saved GTA 6 for this time. I don't know why but it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier when you brought that up, but yeah, they say, and I don't know his name. I didn't get his name. They just said somebody tied to high up in Rockstar in the GTA shit. Yeah, he on the list. That's why I say, bro, this. And just imagine if these people flee, these heads of corporations, that's got to affect the economy some kind of way. Mm-hmm. But we just have to see.
You found it? What you was looking for?
Not yet. I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
All right, I'll play this vid. This from the Elder Carachas. This from the Elder Carachas. His page is GMS Vegas 144 Reloaded. This is new page. Again, it's in the description box to all these links if you want to kind of go back and look at everything yourself. But the title says, "Get ready. They are planning another ... We already know it.
Now here we are. You know, we didn't simulate this. We didn't practice.
On behalf of our partners in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So both the health policies and economic policies, we find ourselves in uncharted territory.
And this is what we just read right here about the new simulation they just ran. And this was also seen in the Epstein files that in 2000, I think 16 or something, 14, something, 16, 17 maybe, that Bill Gates and Epstein was talking about a demic and simulations. It said it ran through Bill Gates, JP Morgan, all built years before CV happened. Psalms 2:1. NIV, why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain?
And so they moved a lot faster. So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is, will get attention this time.
See the smile on their face? Yeah, but the next one, that's gonna get their attention. And look how they both smile with that sinister smile.
And he that this,
I'd say will get attention.
You got it.
Let's say he gave his wife a STD from a whore in Russia. That might be why they got divorced. I don't know, but. Yeah, they all freaks, bro. They all just little nasty, perverted freaks. Look at him. You can see he just a little freak.
Mm-hmm.
Trump a shitty freak. They all, but then they want to demonize us because we like women, we like women, yeah. We have a voracious appetite for women as Israelites, as a whole. And to each his own, but yeah, we don't do none of this perverted shit that they do. But you got it, brother. You got it. They just look at him, bro. He look. And Stephen Hawkins, what the fuck he doing at the island? None of his shit work. They all freaks. Yeah, I got the verse if you want it.
You got it.
All right, let's do Deuteronomy 28 and 58. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy power. All right, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, thy power. Then Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance in sore sicknesses. Yeah, sore sicknesses. It says, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. All right, so right, the shit we were scared of in Egypt, the botches and all that, the leprosy, all the plagues. And then the Lord say, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book, HIV, AIDS, all this other stuff they got, the corona and all this stuff that they killing people with. This is right. This is for the wicked. This is what we've been telling y'all. This is judgment. All right. But that was the point right there, bro.
Kind of play this.
And so they moved a lot faster. So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time. I'd say is will get attention this time. I'd say is will get attention this time.
Now let's focus on something else that kills people, disease. Specifically, let's talk about what's concerning the World Health Organization. Disease X, the next pandemic. This isn't a specific disease. It's a warning about the future. The WHO says that another pandemic will definitely come. Disease X, whatever it is, may be worse than the Wuhan virus. And the world needs to be prepared. And the WHO is right, because this disease X may not be too far away. In fact, it may be closer and more familiar to us than expected. Earlier this month, the WHO had declared that the Wuhan virus was no longer a public health emergency, but it had warned people not to become complacent. It was still out there, mutating, biding its time. It had the potential to strike back. So could it be that the Wuhan virus has actually returned as the dreaded disease X? Because the cases are rising again. Back where it all began, China. A report.
The annual World Health Assembly is taking place in Geneva. It comes just weeks after the World Health Organization said the Wuhan virus is no longer a public health emergency. That was earlier this month.
I'm gonna skip to this. We can end it on this little Simpsons deal. Second Corinthians.
Okay. No, I was just wondering when you lost your thought, was it dealing with the MAC addresses?
I ain't too sure. I forget.
You don't remember. Okay. My bad.
Now you good. But 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. And again, time not on Esau's side. He got to do something. He can't have another trial run again like CV19. He ain't got time for that.
Right.
So whatever's coming gotta be the real deal, man. And advertising just said it. And now all the digital foundation, pretty much the infrastructure is really ready, set, go. That's the point of him doing the first one to kind of kickstart it. Now it's down. So when the light shut off this time or signals come this time and lock you in this time, he gonna excel or accelerate his plans.
We can see that zombie apocalypse. We don't know how it's gonna roll out. But the CDC do have they got grievousness that they have prescribed for a zombie apocalypse. I'm just saying. We in the realm of anything could happen. But go ahead, bro.
Yep, the CDC put out a couple of years ago what to do in a zombie apocalypse. Why? Why we need to know that?
Yep.
I'd like to call to order this conclave of America's media empires.
Salaki, what you say?
I believe they can reanimate a corpse, bro, through that graphene.
Man, it will make sense because
give it motion, right? Because it's tied to the or it can tie into the central nervous system. And that's all you would need.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you would need to make it move and to move the muscles. You just tie into the central nervous system. But yeah, you got it out. I'm just saying it's a possibility. That's all.
Now that's 100% because I seen somewhere somebody said something along the lines of that. How did that last juice? It literally put like nanotechnology in people, and like you said, it's gonna control. All Esau got to do turn up frequencies and literally control. He can control you. See
exactly.
I forget what video. I'm getting a little excited now. It was a video I was watching. Man, Lord, wanted to come back to me. If it do, I send it to you. It was a video I was watching. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Now, I'm talking, but I'm trying to remember at the same time. But anyway, what they were saying was that with this juice is different now. Man, I forget. But anyway, how it can control people. So to you know, for like it can control people now because they really got technology in you. Turn up a frequency, whatever it is. Now you on the grid. Yeah. So what you're saying is that when people die off, that could be your zombies. Oh, and on top of the diseases and the seed, the MOTB in them, which
think about
the grievous soil.
Right, think about that. Damn. Yeah. But this is what I was gonna say. The people with the juice that's dead, they still reading. They still giving off MAC addresses. You can drive by a cemetery right now if you know how to pick up the address and you can read it. They got people that's doing that, going to graveyards, and all these MAC addresses are coming up from people that passed with the juice. So what's going on is that technology is still moving and living, or whatever it's doing. I don't want to say living, but it's still activated within them, even though they're dead and decomposing. That technology is still operating. That's the term, operating. But yeah, brother.
Man, it's about to get exciting, you know.
Man, crazy, yeah. And then they talking about in mainstream, well, not so much mainstream, people talking about Leviathan. They don't even deal with the scriptures. So I'm like, damn, it's getting ready to go down. You got people don't even get into the scriptures, and they talking about Leviathan. Yeah, so you know, when people ain't into the scriptures, I just take what they say with a grain of thought, a grain of salt. But it's just the thought that, you know, people talking about these biblical things. You know, we in that time. We in biblical times. You know, we always in biblical times. But like the apostles say, you guys, there's sometimes how it goes. They're saying, like, I know you know it.
Oh, Vladimir Lenin, you have, matter of fact, I quoted it today, but you have decades to where nothing happened, and then you have years to where decades happen.
That's it. Yep. This the roaring 20s of the new millennium. Because it was popping in the 1920s. It was popping until 1929. But yeah, this decade is definitely from the pandemic 2020. And shit, we got 4 years left, 5 years left. This decade been a mother. You know what I mean? It's been this decade has been world changing, literally. But that's these 6 years. I'm scared to see the rest of the 4 years. But yeah, brother, you got it. Salakia.
Now you good. We can end it on this. This at the end of that vid from Elder Karatazar, you know, a little example on The Simpsons. You know how they set up and plan these CVs, and really they literally set it at a round table for the simulation. Let me see if I still got that video. Hold on. They set at the round table for the simulation. Where is that? Look, sitting at a round table after they played the highlight tape on what they was gonna say. They sitting at a little round table talking. Which is what I think we should shut this down and say it was bats. Well, I think this. So again,
what's that, Davos? Where they at?
That was at event 201. There was a separate event.
It. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, the simulation for the CV-19. So after they played the highlight tape,
okay,
yeah. After they played the highlight tape on what they was going to show to the world as far as the disease spreading from pigs or animal, now they talking about, so what y'all think? Like how we gonna go about it? You know, what's up? So they talked about it, but even on this, look, they sitting here talking about it. Let's play it.
Call to order this enclave of America's media empires. We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions, too terrified to skip the commercials.
Well, I think...
NBC, you are here to listen and not speak. I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time. That is...
Now, I hate to be the guy who derails what everybody else loves.
He loves being that guy.
But, Janice, we do have standards. This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
We do have something we've been holding on to, but it hasn't been tested. Get over here, NBC.
Well, we certainly believe in testing, but Wow. Oh, yeah.
So, we've got our deadly disease. Now, we just have to blame it on something that's in every household, something that people are a little bit afraid of already. House cat flu is coming, people. The Center for Disease Disinformation predicts with some degree of probability that the house cat flu might spread in the following hypothetical outbreak pattern. So, petter beware, that warm body on your lap just might be ready to destroy your tender victuals. Springfielders are advised to stay tuned for more information if they experience any of the following symptoms: mild thirst, occasional hunger, tiredness at night.
So, hey, that's something we can expect. So look out for that. But that's all I had at the Taza Pod. You could take us out. Ain't if you had nothing else.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So we'll close that. We'll close that with well, you read 2 Corinthians 2:11.
Look at him sit at the table at the Taza Pod. Like on the Simpsons.
No, because your boy be in the meetings. Yeah, Matt Groening be in some of the meetings. He knows. All right, so we'll close out here just to recap on what I said earlier about being authentic, being genuine. All right, being sincere in this thing. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. You know, before the hour of temptation come to prove you. Prove yourself. So you know if you're ready. All right, we supposed to be proving ourselves. The scriptures say, prove your own selves. But the Lord gonna prove us all. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. All right. And so, yeah, to go out on that note, constantly examine, all right, yourself, improve yourself so that you don't fall short in this hour of temptation. Because as you see, it's coming into fruition. All right, and we got to go through this. The only way out for us as Israelites is through, and we got to go through that straight and out. All right, it's about to get thick, but that's why we were given grace. And the Lord said, right here in 2 Corinthians 12:9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of my shayak may rest upon me. All right. So the Lord Yahushua said his grace is sufficient. All right. And that's to is sufficient to take us, I use myself, all right, take me, a sinner, and clean me up and get me ready, all right, for this wedding, to purify me. That's being done through his grace. So that when the hour of temptation comes, all right, I'll be able to stand. You know? But right, that's the goodness of his grace. All right. We all are here, you know, in these troubling, these perilous times. All right, we're gonna need his grace to get through. So I'm gonna leave it with that, brother. We pray that you all was edified. We're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Chapadash. Of honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right. The water to you, brothers, and you Aquas, for tuning in. And Lord will, y'all get with us next week. Lord will, we'll be here. All right. But we are getting close to the famine of the hearing of the word. All right. So get what you can get while you can get it. What's that? Isaiah 55:6, I believe. Yeah. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. So till the next one, y'all stay up. Much love and shalom.
Shalom. The water.